beautiful. Okay. Stay. Mouse? Kazam! Wow! ShamWow, baby. All the words that, are important to me in my life. Hey! Welcome back! Welcome to Full Circus. Okay? It's full circus. It's not empty. It's not empty circus. This is the max. We've got all of it today. Look at that. We got a new light. Crap. You know what? I told myself right before I started the show I was not going to reference the light in the background. And that was the first thing I did out of my mind. I saw it and I was like, well, that's cool. And boom. And I had to change colors. I thought it'd be fun. But I wish I didn't. But hey, that's life, baby. We keep pressing forward. Anyways, episode 20. Hey guys, we're here. I'm not gonna say I didn't think it was gonna be here. I'm gonna say something different. I'm gonna try and never say that ever again. I've said that before on the podcast, and I've continued to say it going, through these past few episodes, but no more. Cutting it off. No more of that people doubting us, because people did doubt us. Crap! I'm going down the same rabbit hole I try to ignore every single episode. Let me start fresh. Listen, everything's pretty chaotic right now, but you just got to give me a minute. Give me a minute to get into the zone. And yes, I could have done this before I started the show, but just bear with me. Hey, welcome back to Full Circus, episode 20. More than you can count on your hands unless you're a freak. 20 freaking episodes. My name is Tristan Sartoris, and we are in the booth. And I'm not even going to reference any lighting that may or may not be going on behind me. So, whatever you feel like observing with your eyes or your ears, if you're only listening to the audio version of the show, then feel free to do so. But I will not say anything verbally to acknowledge anything anymore. But, what's up? What's going on? Believe it or not, it might sound like I'm butt full of energy, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm so tired. I haven't been getting like any sleep lately because I can't help staying up. Now, I'm not on my phone. I'm not playing games. I'm not watching anything. I just have a hard time sleeping. And when you have a hard time sleeping, you end up sleeping in a little bit. When you sleep in, you keep falling over this further edge. And even when I'm tired, I'll be like falling half asleep and just up. And I can't sleep ever. So I wasn't able to sleep last night. And I woke up early anyways. So I don't have a lot of in me. I don't have a lot in me. But a wise man once said, fake it. Lie or something. I don't know what I don't know what they say, but I'm faking it. I'm lying about how much energy I have. And by doing so, my body's reacting in such a way that it thinks it has energy, probably, or I'm just really good at lying. But anyways, sleep's been awful. Sleep's been awful for me lately. And I've said this multiple times on the show. It's just like over and every couple of months, like, dang, he's going through another bad pattern again. And I don't know how to fix it. I'll just be sitting there in the middle of the night, and my brain just lights up with something. And I've talked about this kind of on the podcast before. I'm like, I just got to Google a certain beautiful fact, like what volcanoes are still dormant, just because I got to know if I'm going to be safe. I don't even live in a location where volcanoes are accessible, but just for my own safety, I have to look that up. But that was not the case here. The case here is just my brain thinking of funny stuff. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, and then my brain goes, bling. I'm like, what is it? And it's like, wouldn't it be funny to put on a t-shirt a snake riding a unicycle? And then I'm like, what is going on? It's like, but wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be funny? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. But we're trying to go to sleep. It's like, oh, okay. Well, fine, we'll go to sleep. But what if we put a different shirt where a snake was juggling, right? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Because he's got no arms. What's he going to do? If he's juggling, there's 3 balls in the air. Isn't that hilarious? I'm like, yeah, freak. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But dude, we really got to go to sleep, man. We really got to go to sleep. Yeah, I know. Okay, fine. Bing. But what if He was juggling on a unicycle. Isn't that like freaking combined? And I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine, I'm up. It's hilarious. Let's make it. We got to make this shirt for ourselves. And it's just like a mental cowlick or something like that. Like it's just bling, it just flicks right up. I just get these stupid funny ideas that are like me. I'll just be sitting there at 4 o'clock in the morning just I'm just chuckling to myself, and I can't get it to go down. No matter how much gel I put on my brain, I can't feel better about it, because it's how my brain works. No matter how tired I am, funny things are still funny. No matter how late it is, a snake trying to juggle on a unicycle is hilarious, and I can't get that out of my head. So I don't get a lot of sleep because of it, but rest assured, we're gonna make a banger t-shirt. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I gotta say. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep. I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out, but it is what it is. Drop some yellow on there, guys. What? And I don't know what I was saying. What's been going on? Segway. I took a voiceover class. Not usually. Sorry. This is the there's cracks in the facade here of me saying, yeah, I got tons of energy here. Yeah. Anyways, I took a voiceover class, like a voice acting class, for the first time. I've taken acting classes before, but never a voice acting class, and it was good. It was really exciting. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. There were some technical difficulties though, so they had me reading these characters, and everyone else, they got their setups, they got everything like now, and I got a wireless mouse in my pocket here, and that's kind of what right at the beginning of the show. I was like, don't move. It doesn't matter. So I got this wireless mouse set up here, and I got my notes, my script right here on the screen, and they're waiting for me to do these reads. Now, the way I got my script, my second script at least, like in the middle of class, while I'm also trying to pay attention to understand what he's saying so I can listen and learn, but also read and like try and figure this out. And everyone, you can just read off the script, and my mouse doesn't work. My freaking wireless mouse does not work from inside the booth. So I'm sitting there trying to scroll. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to act and process the information while also trying to be off book in like 30 seconds. And I couldn't do it. I was like trying to understand what he was saying and try and adapt and direct, but also being like, what in the world did that character say in A Bug's Life that I saw 13 years ago or not? However long ago that movie came out. Well, it's 2021. Dang. But anyways, yeah, I was nervous. I was so panicked. I was like, dude, come on, freaking, not today, man, not today. You gotta scroll with me, baby. And it just didn't work. And I didn't want to look like I wasn't paying attention, or I didn't look at the scripts, or I, wasn't trying. I was like, just bear with me for a second, sir. But it worked out. It was a really good class. I learned a lot. It was fun. It was worth the investment. Worth the money. Another thing was, I kept addressing the teacher as sir, right? Because that's what I do. I'm a respectful Southern gentleman. So I'd say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, got you, yes, sir. And they kept laughing at me. They kept laughing like, dude, what are you doing? I'm not in the army. I'm not wearing stripes. Like, you don't gotta address me as sir, okay? It's just, don't worry about it. And I kept saying, yes, sir. No, sorry, sir. I mean, no, yeah, whatever. Yes, sir. And they just kept laughing. I couldn't stop it. And I was like, dude, I grew up in the South, man. I grew up with my dad, who instilled some hardcore strong manners. He was just like, listen, boy, right, you're going to address these people with some respect. You're going to say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, you got it. I'm like, yeah, I'll try. And then I would mess up, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And like, what'd you say? Yes, sir, you understand me? Like, he was the mailman. I didn't understand. It's like, it doesn't matter. You show some respect. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from my dad, and I do address people like that, and it's gotten me in trouble on some occasions because I'll say stuff like that, or you'll say yes, ma'am to a lady, and then some people just take that as like, hey, I'm not like an old lady or something. It's like, I'm sorry, that's just what I do. It's just what I say. It's what I was taught to say. Okay, I got respect. Do you want respect or not? And I got tons of it. I got tons of respect to go around, but for some reason, people aren't used to getting it these days. This Southern hospitality, these Southern manners that I'm just passing around. Yeah, people just aren't ready for it. So I always address people, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. And that's how I was raised. And I feel like the world could use a little bit more of that, but who knows. So anyways, the class was good. What else happened after that? After that, I was pretty stressed out after the class ended. I felt I needed to have a cheat day, right? Now, if you don't know what a cheat day is, it's it's basically where you eat as much junk as humanly possible in a short span of time. So I went off my diet, right? We had a friend over, we went skating, and I was like, okay, we're gonna freaking just eat everything I can. So we're buying stuff. I'm getting good deals on snacks. I'm seeing, oh dang, $2.99. Usually it's $3.17. What a deal! So I get that. I got way too much stuff than I can eat. And as the sun goes down, I'm eating stuffed. I'm so full, but it's a cheat day. It's a cheat day, and I got all these deals. I spent this money. And everybody goes to bed, it's late, and now it's like 2 or 3 in the morning again. And during these cheat days, a part of me just refuses to go down knowing there is something left in that bag or in that box. Because I spent that money, I'm thinking, hey, I'm probably not going to have a cheat day for a few weeks or a month or whatever I'm going to do. It's only such a rare occasion. I gotta really live this out to its full potential. I'm gonna get my money's worth today. So it's 3 a.m. I'm sweating, and the lights are off. Everybody's asleep, and I'm just eating food. I'm eating the cookies, and I have this moment right in the middle as I'm sucking down another Twinkie. I'm just having this moment where I'm looking around at what is happening in the world, where the world is completely still in the middle of the night, and I am just shoving it as hard and as ferocious as I can, eating. I'm so full, I don't even want the freaking Twinkie. I don't want the ice cream sandwich or the iced oatmeal cookie bars or the chips. Well, the chips were good, but all this stuff. I'm just like, I can't do it. But the part of my brain is like, you gotta, right? You spent $4.50 on all this stuff. You gonna let that go to waste? And I had already eaten about 75%, and I said no. So I stayed up, and I kept going and going and going until I was full. And I felt very sad and ashamed of myself, but hey, smart with my money, I got my money's worth. I don't ever waste a cent. Very frugal. Learned in the Italian ways. He's Italian. It's Italian to stimulate and to eat all your food. So that, your grandma doesn't smack you. But anyways, that was fun in its own twisted, sick way. Like looking back on the fact, it's funny. It was very sad in the moment. It was like, why? Who am I? What am I doing with my life? Where am I in the world right now? And I think eating 8 to 12 Twinkies will do that to your brain. There's got to be some sort of chemical thing where you unlock this extra level of, self-realization where you go, hey, why? And I didn't really get an answer because I just kept eating. And you can eat past those feelings. So people might say it's not smart to eat your feelings, but they don't say that you can't. You can. You freaking can eat your feelings. Again, not recommended, but you can do it. Especially if you're on a budget, and you just got to make sure you get it. What else happened? I went to go get some new mattresses a couple of days ago. I woke up and my mom was like, "Hey, you want to go get these new mattresses?" And I was like, "What? Why? Jess, what do you mean, mattresses? We all have beds." And she's like, "Hey, but your mattress is pretty bad, right? Don't you want to get a new mattress?" I'm like, I guess. What time is it? And she's like, all right, well, go out there and go get these new mattresses, or you can wait or whatever and go show up. And I'm like, no, that's fine. I'll go get the mattresses now. And I went to go get these mattresses. I show up at this guy's door, and this guy opens the door. Big, tall guy. He looks down. He's like, hey, you here to get the mattress? I'm like, yeah. And he opens the door and he looks out both ways. He's like, did you bring help? I was like, no. And he's like, you need somebody to help you carry these mattresses. He's like, you gotta have somebody else here. I was like, aren't they just a couple twins? You don't think I can do this? It's just on your own? And like, how heavy could it be? And he's like, fine, I'll show you. And he was like, he was a little bit upset. And he's like, I don't know why. Probably because he thought he was going to have to help with these heaping behemoths. But in my mind, he's like, you can't do this. And I was like, well, that pretty much means I'm gonna, now doesn't it? So I got to go up there and like, how heavy can a twin be? Now, I went to go pick it up, and sure enough, it was this freaking thick memory foam. Must have been loaded with concrete or something. I was like, oh, nah, I got it. And I start hauling these things out, throwing them in the van. Maybe I was trying to pop it on there was no handles either, so it was like sliding off my shoulder. And he's like, yeah, these mattresses just weren't good on my back. Just didn't work that great. They were expensive. They were like $2,200. I'm like dragging it through the grass, like $2,200, really? Like just chucking it into the back of this old minivan. It's like, oh man. It's like, yeah, it wasn't too heavy though. I got it knocking down like through the branches of his trees. Wow, expensive. Yeah, man. Yeah, mattresses are expensive these days. Flip it on top and just ratchet strap it down. It's like, yeah, pretty good. Anyways, told you I could get those mattresses, boy. And he was impressed. And he thought it was good, and I felt good, and I felt proud. And I'd only been up for 8 minutes at that point. So I brought the mattresses home, and my mom laid down on them, and she realized that, she wanted them both for herself. So I'm just joking. That's a complete joke. Mom, I know you're watching. It's not the truth, okay? I'll admit it. My mom's a sweetheart. She tried to offer it to me, and I was like, Mom, my bag's good, okay? I just carried these 800-pound things on my shoulders like no problem. I'll be okay. And luckily they were actually really nice. Even like after we hosed them down for a little bit, they were okay. And I think her bag's doing better. I think she's feeling pretty good. I have to do another check-in. It's only been a couple days, but we got these new mattresses. They're in the house, and I don't know what we're going to do with her old mattress. I might make a wrestling pad out of it. I have no idea. The possibilities are endless, It's kind of like when you're a kid. You see something, and that's still how my brain works. I'm just seeing something, I can do something with that. Or it's just a hoarder in me. It's like, oh, we got a freaking king-sized memory foam mattress? I can do something with that. I'll tape it to the trees and make like some sort of, homemade boxing, oak ring. I have no idea. Or for it, but that's just kind of how my mind works. I just want to play. I want to play with stuff all the freaking time. What else? What else has been going on, dude? I had notes upon notes upon notes, and my phone died, so I can't remember any of them. Should I go look at them? I probably won't. Will I? There was one more part. I knew that story was supposed to segue into something. I just stepped on the keyboard. My apologies. So anyways, here. Oh, dang, I got a message from Staples. They're giving me something. What? Oh, never mind. I didn't have any notes. Okay. So I guess we're freeballing from here. Yeah, what happened? You know what? For some reason, I thought that mattress story was going to go longer. It didn't. Yeah, kids, stories, imagination. Dude, watch this segue, okay? My brain can freaking think on its feet. Dude, I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but like when you were a kid and people just used to tell you crazy stories, just anything, and you just believed them. If they were like even a week older than you, were like, wow, you're so wise. I remember my brother and his friend, they were playing Pokemon cards, and I wanted to play. I wanted to play with them. Like, I was like, I don't even know how Pokemon the card game works, but they were like their discard little pile with all their spare Pokemon. I was like, I want to look at them. I want to go see them. And they were sitting on them, and I didn't know that. I was 5 years old. I was like, where are they? Where are they going? He's like, what do you do with the spare ones? Can I like look at them if you're not using them? And they're like, yeah, you see the ceiling fan? There's a little button on there right under that. If you press that, a bridge will come out from the upstairs railing. You can go under it, and they're stashed right in there. And me and my friend, we went, whoa. And I stared at that railing. Everybody left. Years gone by. I still think about it to the day. My brain says, yeah, he was sitting on him. But part of me is like, maybe. And I just can't help thinking about it. And I don't know how he came up with that on the spot, but I believed him. Why not? Because it made sense. It was fantastical. It was mystical. And it was just everything that I wanted in my life at the time. Another one was our neighbors, right? We were just sitting there. And on the driveway, it was just after playing some basketball or something. We're just sitting there. He's like, "Hey, we went to go sleep over at our friend's house. We both went over there last weekend, and it was crazy." And I'm like, "Whoa, what? What happened? What happened?" And they're like, "So they got this big TV, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, big TVs are awesome. Okay, big TV. Like, yeah, right behind the big TV, there's an air vent." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." Nuts. And like, so we took off the air vent. You go through the air vent. You go down. You fall into these underwater catacombs. I'm like, "What is a catacomb?" And then they're like, "Dang, is that like how do you get your cat like super soft? Like, is that a new brush?" Like, "No, it's like freaking cellars and grave dead people underground." I was like, "Wow, that's nuts." Like, yeah, so you swim down through this water level. You go through 3 different tunnels, and then if you accidentally trigger a sensor, the water level starts to rise. So you got to swim really fast, and you dive through a different tunnel, and you can't even breathe. But if you get up just enough time, you'll find a little room. I'm like, "What's in the room?" They're like, "A Rubik's Cube." I'm like, "Wow, this is so nuts." And I was 9 years old at the time, and I thought, "Holy crap, this is real." And they told me this, and I believed it. And I thought, man, that's a lot of work to get in that room, but that room's got to be so special for some reason. Like, the brain is not like, that doesn't make any sense. Who would have that in their basement? They're just like, "This is what happened." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, all right, I believe it." Not even like in a sarcastic way. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go there now. Why not?" And that's how, most of my childhood was filled with stories like that. People just told me anything, and I believed them. We would find like spare phones, right? You would find like a cheap $15 phone, it'd be broken on the street or whatever, and be like, "Wow, it's got no service." And now you don't know how data works or minutes. You're just like, "Dang, this would be really cool if this phone worked." And like, yeah, apparently if you climbed one of those cell phone towers, you go all the way to the top, you can see all the mountains ever, and you can see into the Grand Canyon, and then there would be an extra cell phone service, and you would get free service. You were up that high. And then I carried a phone. I had this phone for years. For 3, every time I saw the red blinking light way up there in the distance, I thought, man, if I get in a bind, at least I can climb up there and I'll be okay. And that's kids for you. And maybe I'm just gullible. I have no idea, but that's how my life has gone so far. People just tell me these stories. I don't know if I'm gullible or I just want to believe in the power of magic or these just beautiful stories of adventures. I'm like, "Dang, there's no way you can do that." Yeah, you go into the woods, and if you knock on the tree twice on the left side, the bark folds open and it creates a doorway in these stairs. And me and Alex, we went down, and then the door shut, and we were locked forever. I was like, "Well, how did you get out?" "We didn't." Wow. And nothing of my friends, like, he's sitting there telling me the story. I don't get it, though. And, that's just part of life, I guess. Unless this was only me. I could just, listen, I'm just spilling my heart out. I'm spilling out my beautiful tales. So if this was just me, then it's embarrassing. And if not, hey, welcome. We get some good stories. Neighbors were fun, though, dude. We live on this 90-plus-year-old street now, and we've lived here for a while. But I remember having, neighbors. Growing up as a kid, you just have neighbors. You just go outside. You go outside, and people are just there, outside. Before I would even wake up, I would just, like, come down the stairs like this, and there'd be 3 people at my door, and I was in my freaking Snoopy pajamas, or my 100 Dalmatians, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, "Dude, we gotta freaking play." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that was today." And it's just neighbors. Good old neighborly fun, man. It was so good. It was like you lived in your own version of Ed, Edd, and Eddy. And I miss that. I miss that feeling of, I don't know, kids, children. Children just have a way of having fun. I think my mind still works like that, to where that's what I want to go do. I just want to go and, pretend to be a pirate or a ninja turtle or build a fort. But, sadly, I'm 12 and everybody else grew up. So I don't know what to do about that, but I miss that feeling. I miss that feeling of adventure with just a random summer day. You're just like, "Yeah, see that stick? That's a sword. Let's battle." And that's what you do all day long. And you would climb up on the roof, and you battle, and whoever died, died. And you blame it on someone else. And it was good. It was good. Man, there's so many stories from neighbors, dude. I remember our neighbor one time. He was and sometimes when kids like to get in trouble. And when you have that many kids, that many personalities, there a lot of bad ideas can come up out of nowhere. And I remember one time, so the neighbor, he was like, my buddy, he said, "Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna tell your parents that you're sleeping over at my house, and I'll tell my parents I'm sleeping over at your house, and then we will go outside all night and just party, and they'll both think we're over at each other's house, and we'll have complete freedom." And luckily 8-year-old me had some like common sense to put this together, and I was like, dude, this isn't a sitcom, okay? What do you think's gonna happen? They're not gonna notice us 4 feet? You're my next door neighbor. You think they're not gonna not see us 8 yards over there? Like, wow, where how are the boys? I thought they were with you. And we wouldn't even make it 3 driveways away. Yeah, sometimes I was grateful for my common sense. I was grateful for my, thinking ahead. Other times I wish I had it more in other situations. Like when you'd go and ding-dong ditch somebody or throw snowballs at cars. And sometimes I wish that part of my brain would have been like, hey, this might not be a good idea. Because the cars stop and they follow you and they tell your parents and then you cry. But anyways, whatever. It happens. It happens, dude. We're at the end of the episode. Yeah! Did I fake it? Did you buy it? Did it look like I had tons of buttloads of energy? I keep meaning to say boatloads, and I don't know why it comes out like that. But if there are buttloads of energy somewhere in the universe, I will find it, and I will harness it for the good of mankind. My mom is sending me messages about something, coconut oil or whatever. I'll just... whatever. Doesn't matter. I gotta go. Guys, thanks so much for being into this episode. I don't even know what I'm talking about, dude. I don't even know what I'm saying. Drop some different colors on that. Green. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Full Circus episode 20. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, later. Peace.